Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to askNK. Today we're taking a look at the brand new tool called SiSir. And SiSir is an amazing free tool that allows you to create hair grooms for your character and you can work easily. The creators actually said that this tool will remain free for as long as possible, as the creator is not planning to make it a paid tool. And this means that you can use this tool to create guides directly on your characters, groom them however you want, and work with procedural stacking systems and various procedural parameters to get that real-time feedback when grooming your hair. At the same time, this comes with a rendering tool that allows you to easily render your hair right inside of the viewport before exporting these to various DCC tools. So for those who like to get this, you can simply go over to the link in the description that'll bring you right here where you'll be able to see it. And if you simply go all the way down, it tells you that SiSir is a standalone hair grooming tool. Of course, we've not seen a lot of standalone hair grooming tools, and this one is looking pretty. So with this tool, you'll be able to style, groom, and also render. At the same time, with this tool, you can do some very nice looking stuff, which might be pretty dicey for you to do with various other tools that actually has hair systems with them, from styling to interactive grooming, all the way to masking, hair transplanting, down to rendering. This tool has you covered. You can import various meshes in there, export them to various DCC tools, as they currently have a couple of bridges and scripts that you might find super useful. So for those who like to get this, all you need to do to get started is to click on download, and this is going to bring you over to their Discord, and from the Discord is where you actually download this. So just in case you like to download it, you can actually go ahead and get it from there. So how does this tool work? It is very easy. With SiSir open up right here, how you get started with it is as easy as going over to File, go over to Import OBJ and import your 3D OBJ, or you can click on Import OBJ from here and import your 3D OBJ. We're going to start off with the sample OBJ file that comes with it, so we're going to bring that in, click on OK, and we have that 3D model right here. So with this loaded in, let's talk about the UI before we proceed to making hair. How you navigate across the UI is this easy. With Alt and the left mouse button, you can orbit. With Alt and the middle mouse button, you can pan. With Alt and the right mouse button, you can zoom in and zoom out. Pretty standard stuff. Right over here is where you get to see the inspector, which comes with all the properties that you need when working with the hair, depending on the workspace that exists, as we've got different workspaces, which includes guide, hair, and also render. On this other side is where we find layers, and we're going to talk about the layers in a bit. We also got the viewport section where you can turn on and turn off stuff depending on what you're doing on the viewport. So how do we now make hair? Of course, how you can make hair is this easy. I'm just going to show you guys a quick way, and I'm also going to show you guys a much more standard way of making the hair. So the quickest way of making this hair is as easy as this. We have our 3D model. You can bring the textures if you want. In this case, we don't want that. You can bring in references if you want. Of course, we already have a 3D model, so we're simply going to say use main mesh as the reference. And once we do that, we can draw our curves or our guides right on our 3D model. Pretty easy. We can just simply go ahead and make that drawing. So maybe we like our hair to be something like so. We can just simply go ahead and style this however we want. Pretty cool stuff. And you might be wondering, what about mirroring? Now for mirror, you need to go all the way down here where you have your guide settings and turn on the mirror mode. And once you have the mirror mode turned on, you can start doing all of that. We'll talk about this one in a bit as well. If we go over to the close matching, we can also use that. But for now, because we just want to make quick guides, we can simply go ahead and do some quick guided movement on our 3D model head. And there we go. Let's say, for example, we're happy with this. We can bang off all the way to the hair section. And you notice that we've got a whole lot of hair. Now, we don't want to deal with all of this, so what can we do? We can start painting mask for distribution just to even off certain stuff. So for that, we go over to the masking section, click on paint mask, and from here we can start painting. Of course, once you're painting, it is white. And in standard texture theory, white is equal to 1, which is positive, and black is equal to 0, which is negative. So to get this 0 in, we need to click on fill, which fills the whole place with black. And then we can start painting white, and only where we paint is where we have hair. So we can just simply go ahead and paint in those hair in there. And once we have this hair painted, we can also go over and start playing with the hair thickness. Maybe we like that to be a bit thinner, the mid thickness as well. Maybe we like it to be even way thinner so that we can see some very nice stuff like so. Then we can play with the tip thickness, which is already very thin itself. And that way we can go in and increase various other parameters and properties that exist with this. Of course, if you like to clump, you want to increase the length, you want to increase the density, the amount of hair that you have, the parting, you possibly want to do a bit of pushing out. Maybe you like the hair to pop off a bit and push out. You can also do all of that. If we go all the way back and let's just, for example, increase the hair thickness just about a point like so, you can have all of this. If you go over to your rendering, you can start seeing this render. And this is the very quick way of getting the hair done. Going back to the curve, you can actually make modifications. We didn't talk about that. So if you like to make modifications, you can simply hold down Shift and click on any of this hair. And depending on where your mouse hovers, you can make modification to that curve. So we can make modifications like so, and we can also make modifications like so. And this is how easy it is for you to get started. Now let's talk about a much more conventional way of doing this stuff. Say for example, you have a custom 3D model. And for this example, we're going to go over to Blender and play with a GNM model that the folks at Google recently open sourced. We made a whole video about that one for those who like to see it and possibly work with it. So with this tool, you can actually randomize and make different faces for your characters. And that is brilliant. So once you have those characters' faces done, and you're settled for a particular character and you like to use it, let's say this is the character face we want to use. If you're working with the Google GNM, you will need to scale this all the way to about 200, just so that it matches up with the unit scale when it comes to SiSir. And once you match that up, the next thing you need to do is to apply all transforms, export this as an OBJ file, and import this into SiSir. And this is it. We now have this model right in here, looking pretty. So the most conventional way of getting things done, let's say for example, we want to work on this particular model, is by simply using the middle mouse button to click and adding one strand of hair. And so we have that one single strand of hair in there, and we can style this strand of hair however we want. Maybe we'd like to add one more on this end. We can click and have that there as well. Now, things starts getting interesting when you like to add even way more stuff rather than just using the guides. And for this one, what we can do is to go over to where we have our mirror mode and we can start mirroring stuff. With the mirror mode turned on, we can select whatever mirror plane, which is pretty interesting to have as an option because it means that you can use this on different kinds of 3D model regardless of where they are facing. So once we have that done, we can use the middle mouse button to click and add hair wherever we want. So maybe we'll like that there, we'll like this here, we'll like this here, we can have it. If we like to select multiple strands and maybe do some stuff with them, if we hold down Shift on the keyboard, use the left mouse button to have that selection, we can have all of this selected, can press the delete key to delete them, or we can have all of this selected and we can also go in and style them at the same time since we've got mirroring turned on. Something else which is also really cool that you can do with this is the interpolation. Say for example, we would like to interpolate between this, and this. What we need to do is to go over here and click on match closed guides. So once we click on that and we click the middle mouse button, you notice it starts interpolating between what we have here and what we have there. We can do that and simply go ahead and position this one exactly where we like it to be. Of course, if we have hair strands like this selected, you'd like to increase the length, we can also go ahead and increase that. We can hold down Shift, click all the way out, hold down Shift, have this one selected, and rework the magic on this one. In some cases, you would want gravity to do its magic. And of course, this tool also allows for such options to exist. Once we have these ones in here, I'm just simply going to go ahead and do something fun. So once we have all of this in here, hold down Shift and make a selection for all of those. We can go all the way down and we can turn on gravity. And gravity will just do its magic. If we want to stop gravity, we can stop it midway. And we can also let it do all of its magic. Of course, we can have all these other ones selected and gravity would also kick in that regard. And you think gravity stops when you stop? No, it keeps going, because if we go ahead and add another strand of hair, gravity kicks in, another strand of hair, gravity just simply keeps doing its thing. So we can have that going all the way down. Maybe we'd like to have gravity right there, maybe gravity right over here, and maybe right over here. We can add a bit more on these ends, and we can just simply have this spaghetti stuff, or the curve guides just simply doing their thing. If we would like to now start segmenting various parts of this hair, we can easily do those. So to do this is as simple as holding down Shift, clicking all the way out. Maybe I'll like the front part to be on a different layer. I can simply just go ahead and make those selections. And once we have those, I can click on add layer and automatically it adds this into a new layer. So we can hide the previous one and just focus on this one if this is what we want to actually work on. And we can also do the same thing on the other side as well. One thing we don't have here are brushes, and this tool definitely benefits from having brushes, which is something that is currently not available. And with what we've just explored, we can simply go in to style the hair and make some changes to it as it is. And if you're thinking about adding hairs to a specific layer without actually selecting them, you can click on the add layer, and from here you can start adding hair. So in this case, we're just adding a brand new hair on this end. I'm just going to go ahead and increase the length of that, and we can move this all the way to the back. Now, you would also notice that I've also turned on hair collision, which is also going to help with the hair when they collide with each other. And so once you have this ready, to any of the hair that you would like to work on, you need to have those layers selected and you can work on the hair. So in this case, once I have this there, we can reduce that length about this much. And once you are ready to go, you can make some changes. Of course, these changes includes you maybe having a massive selection on a portion like this, and then going all the way down here and changing the bend stiffness depending on what you want, and also the drag smooth. There's also a parting tool which exists with this one, which you can use to part the hair. Of course, this is also going to come in handy in various grooming applications. So in this case, now that we have this ready, if we go over to the hair, we can start painting our mask. And like we mentioned earlier, we can fill the whole thing and we can start painting regions based off our selection. You notice that in this case, we have the base one turned on. So if we like to paint on that part, we can paint and only the hair within the yellow guides would show up. And for those who are thinking about the brush size, if you hold down V on the keyboard, you can play with intensity, pretty much like what you have with Maya. If you hold down B on the keyboard, you can play with the radius in and out. So we can do all of that. So I can go in, paint that in, go all the way down, and we can play with the overall thickness, play with the root strength and all that stuff like we talked about earlier. And you can also play with the mid thickness, and you can choose to shave things up or shave things down as well. If we go in and turn on the other ones, you can start seeing things kick in. We can turn on these as well, and we can turn on these other hair as well. So once we have that ready, we can turn this off. Something else that you can also do, which is also really good, is with the length. So right here, we also have a length mask. So if you do have a length mask, you can add that. But if you don't, you can also come in and you can paint your length mask. So maybe you like certain parts not to be fully long. You can use the right mouse button and paint the length mask. And this is just going to paint out the length on those parts, which is also really cool. Something that we don't have here is a smooth brush, because I would love to see a smoothing brush so that once you hold down shift and smooth, you can easily smooth things out. Or maybe a blur brush can come in handy. Outside that, you can use these to do all of that stuff. You can also clump certain parts as well. So you can do some guided clump. So only the parts that has the guides would have those clumps. So you can do that. So we can have a guided clump in this regards. Let's simply go ahead and clear that. We can also have the random one. We can do the random experimental, and this is just going to add clumps randomly. We can play with how much of the random clump count that we have. We can also play with the root tightness if this is something we want. The fly away. So depending on how much stuff that we want to fly away from the clump, we can play with these and get some very interesting results. And of course, with this, you can actually go in and play with some of the parameters and get things done. You can also throw in a sub clump, and within the sub clump, you can use this to control various parts as well. We don't have anything here, and of course, you can see that it tells with the hair. But if we go back to our guides, we can simply just put some in there and just simply move this on these other ends just to make sure that we have a few hair flying around in that area. So we can have that, go all the way back. That becomes a bit too much. You can go back, make some corrections. Just gonna move this a little bit down, come back here, and you have it. And this is us just basically going through this tool. Going all the way down within the section, you'll notice that we also have something that has to do with trimming. So if you like to trim certain parts of your piece, you can. So I can go over to this layer, and maybe I would like to trim this part. We can use it to just easily trim that part. We can also play with the hair length as well. We can randomize that as well. We can use clump IDs to do some stuff. We can go all the way down and play with the freeze. So in case you like to add a bit of freeze to it, this is going to be particularly useful for those who try to make afro or curly hairs. You can use the freeze to add a bit more coil to it. You can play with how much scale this goes towards the Z-axis and the X-axis, and you can also throw in a bit of noise to get some very nice looking result overall. And just like we have with the trim and also the length, you can use the clump IDs as well to actually generate some stuff. If you go over to the pattern, we can make some patterns. We can play with how much resolution, which is the quality of the overall hair, and we can also play with the smoothness as well. And when it comes to rendering, we do have various things that we can do here. First off, within the rendering section, you can use an image-based lighting to just see what the hair would look like. You can turn on or turn off camera lighting. You can play with the intensity from the camera, and you can enable the voxel AO if you want. There's just a lot of cool features that are right here. You can also go all the way down and make some very interesting changes to the melanin. Maybe you like this to be fully black, maybe you like it to be fully white. You can make that change. You can play with the redness of the hair itself. You can choose to play with the roughness and so many other cool features right here. And once you're done, you can simply go over to File, Export, and export this as either a PLY or an LMB file, which is something that you can now bring into tools like Blender and so on. And of course, for those who are thinking about, volume, maybe you want your character to have a lot of volume. If you go over to the hair section, you can always add as much volume for your character as you want. So maybe you want it to have a lot more hair than before. You can do that. You can have them based on vertex or even make them more uniform. And however you choose to style your hair is totally up to you. If you want to restyle these hairs, you can always go back to the guide section where you can select any of the ones within whatever layers that you have, and you can start doing some cool stuff like moving them around and massaging them to get exactly what you want. Like I mentioned earlier, these two will benefit a lot from a brush tool. Now, there are certain questions you guys may be asking, which includes, can you make haircuts out of this? The creator have mentioned that this is very possible. There's also questions if this was vibe coded, and no, it isn't. This tool was actually built from scratch with C++. And of course, for those who like to explore it, or maybe you like to grab it and start working with it, then you can simply go over to the link in the description and check it out. If you do have a model which already has a hair sculpted piece, you can use this as a base to actually do even more stuff. And of course, if you're thinking about doing some cool renders, this tool has a lot of cool features which we barely even touch the surface of. One thing which is also very interesting that this tool offers, which is something I think you should also check out, is the fact that you can transfer grooms. So you can transfer a groom from one character to another, which is absolutely amazing. So this is it. For those who like to take a look at SiSir, links to this is going to be in the description, so do well to check it out. This is a completely free hair grooming tool made for character artists, and you can simply go ahead and check it out. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section, and until I see you guys in the next one, peace.